What is a primary, secondary, or a tertiary alcohol? Well, an alcohol itself is an organic molecule with an OH group on it. In all these examples, I have an OH. There, and there, and there, and there, and there. But the question of primary, secondary, or tertiary is answering the question, how many C's is the C, or the carbon, that has the OH connected to? So you have to find the OH, then look at the C that's connected to that OH. And the question is, how many C's is that one connected to in the first place? Let's do this with some examples, shall we? Here's an OH, I found it, but the carbon that it's attached to is this guy. How many C's is he connected to? In this case, it's a single bond in this direction to that carbon. That's a single bond to the O, and that carbon has two H's on it. That means that the carbon that has the OH is only connected to one other carbon, which makes it primary. Some people write it as 1 degree, but 1 degree and primary alcohols are the same thing. Like, those are just different ways of saying it, right? Here's an O. The C that it is connected to is here. How many C's is it connected to? Well, there's 1, there's 2. That makes this secondary, aka 2 degree. There you go. Love it. Let's find this O, which is connected to this C. How many C's is it connected to? 1, 2, oh, it's another secondary alcohol. See how easy this is? I love it. This O is connected to that C, and that C is only connected to this one other carbon. That carbon is connected to that one, not that one. That one's connected there, not there. That carbon only leads to that one. That makes this primary. Love it. And lastly, you could probably guess what this last one's going to be. Here's an OH connected to that C, which itself is connected to 1, 2, 3 other C's. Finally, we have a tertiary alcohol. Now I want to point out that most tertiary, well, all tertiary alcohols have no H's on the carbon that you're investigating how many carbons it's connected to. It's because if that C is connected to OH and then it's also connected to 3 other C's, there's no room for any H's on there. But by the time you get to a primary carbon, you can have up to 2 H's on it because one bond is made to another carbon, one bond is taken up by the OH that makes it an alcohol, and that leaves 2 extra spaces for the H's. They might not be H's, they might be like fluorines or, I don't know, chlorine or something else, but you have room for up to 2 of them if it's fully saturated with hydrogens. And by the time you get to secondary, you have room for 1 H, because 2 bonds are taken up with carbons, 1 with the OH, and that leaves a single slot for the H to go in. You cannot have any what we call quaternary alcohols. That's 4 degree. Quaternary means that that carbon's connected to 4 other carbons, but then there's nowhere for the OH to exist, and so you can't have an alcohol that is quaternary. You have 5 bonds to that carbon. That's no bueno. You know what's bueno? Your attitude. I like it. Best of luck.